Microsoft was founded by Bill Gates and Paul Allen on April 4, 1975, to develop and sell basic interpreters for Altair 8800. Microsoft Corporation is an American multinational corporation that develops, manufactures, licenses, supports, and sells computer software, consumer electronics, and personal computers and services. The Microsoft solution treats structured and unstructured data types in the same way, whether they are documents, spreadsheets, email messages, instant message conversations, or even audio, video, or image files. You can apply uniform rules for labeling, archiving, retrieving, and deleting records. The key benefits are greater control. With a network directory service and group policies, IT has improved control over desktop configurations and maintenance, ensuring that systems are highly secure, up-to-date, and in compliance with established policies. Increased system uptime. System flexibility allows a repurposing of hardware to meet the needs of different roles and business needs across the organization. Improved security. Automated patching and updates combined with proactive application monitoring helps IT to reduce the window during which potential security vulnerabilities may exist. We know that the central aim of IT management is to generate value through the use of technology. Now here raises a question. How does information technology management support organizations to sustenance and complement their business operations? Hello all, and welcome to this lecture on Information Technology Management, where we will understand how IT management entails basic management functions like budgeting, staffing, change management, organizing, and controlling, etc. After the lecture, we will be able to learn the following objectives. Understand the information technology infrastructure. Explain the information technology and TPS. Discuss managing information system. Explain the object-oriented technology, or OOT. Describe the enterprise management system. Information technology management is the process whereby all resources related to information technology are managed according to an organization's priorities and needs. This includes tangible resources like networking hardware, computers, and people, as well as intangible resources like software and data. The central aim of IT management is to generate value through the use of technology. To achieve this, business strategies and technology must be aligned. Let's discuss the information technology infrastructure. The IT infrastructure refers to the composite hardware, software, network resources, and services required for the existence, operation, and management of an enterprise IT environment. It allows an organization to deliver IT solutions and services to its employees, partners, or customers, and is usually internal to an organization and deployed within owned facilities. Typically, a standard IT infrastructure consists of the following components: hardware, servers, computers, data centers, switches, hubs, and routers, etc. Software, enterprise resource planning, or ERP, customer relationship management, or CRM, productivity applications, and more. Network, network enablement, internet connectivity, firewall and security. Meatware, human users such as network administrators, developers, designers, and generic end users with access to any IT appliance or service are also part of an IT infrastructure, specifically with the advent of user-centric IT service development. Managing hardware and software assets. The IT asset management is the management of all information technology resources for a business organization. IT resources refer to both hardware equipment and software programs that organizations use to conduct business. These company assets can include computer equipment, mobile equipment, and digital equipment, and software applications. Processing hardware and memory. Once data is digitized, it's processed. Processing hardware is the brain of the computer. Located on the main circuit board or motherboard, the processor or system unit contains the central processing unit, or CPU, and the memory. The CPU has two parts: the arithmetic logic unit, which performs arithmetic operations and logical operations of comparing, and the control unit, which directs the operation of the computer in accordance with the program's instructions. Output devices. Once the data is processed, output devices translate the language of bits into a form that humans can understand. Output devices are divided into two basic categories: those that produce hard copy, including printers and plotters, and those that produce soft or digital copy, including monitors, the most commonly used output device. Soft copy is also produced by speakers that produce speech, sound, or music. Secondary storage devices. The memory we have discussed so far is temporary or volatile. To save work permanently, you need secondary storage devices. Magnetic disk and magnetic tape and optical disks are used as secondary storage media. Magnetic media, disk, diskette, tape, and high-capacity zip disks store data and programs as magnetic spots or electromagnetic charges. Software. Software refers to the programs, the step-by-step instructions that tell the hardware what to do. Without software, hardware is useless. Software falls into two general categories: system software and application software. Managing data resources. The main key features of managing data resources are: an information system provides users with timely, accurate, and relevant information. The information is stored in computer files. When files are properly arranged and maintained, users can easily access and retrieve the information when they need. If the files are not properly managed, they can lead to chaos in information processing. Even if the hardware and the software are excellent, the information system can be very inefficient because of poor file management. A computer system organizes data in a hierarchy that starts with the bit. A bit represents 0 or 1. Telecommunication and networks. Telecommunications form the third component of IT. Standing alone, your computer has access only to the data and information stored on its hard drive and on the disks that you insert in its drives. If you connect your personal computer to a network, however, you have access to the data and information on that network as well. Types of networks, including public and private networks. Computers that are connected to each other create a network. These networks are often configured with Public Internet Protocol, or IP addresses. That is, the devices on the network are visible to devices outside the network. Networks can also be configured as private, meaning that devices outside the network cannot see or communicate directly to them. Let's now talk about information technology. A transaction process system, or TPS, is an information processing system for business transactions involving the collection, modification, and retrieval of all transaction data. Characteristics of a TPS include performance, reliability, and consistency. The TPS is also known as transaction processing or real-time processing. Types of operating system. Operating systems have existed from the very first computer generation. Operating systems keep evolving over time. A few of the important types of operating system which are most commonly used are: batch operating system. The users of a batch operating system do not interact with the computer directly. Each user prepares his job on an offline device like punch cards, and submits it to the computer operator. Time-sharing operating systems. Time-sharing is a technique which enables many people located at various terminals to use a particular computer system at the same time. Time-sharing or multitasking is a logical extension of multi-programming. Processors' time, which is shared among multiple users simultaneously, is termed as time-sharing. The advantages are: provide advantage of quick response, avoids duplication of software, reduces CPU idle time. Real-time operating system. Real-time operating system is defined as a data processing system in which the time interval required to process and respond to inputs is so small that it controls the environment. Real-time processing is always online, whereas online systems need not be real-time. The time taken by the system to respond to an input and display of required updated information is termed as response time. Types of processing techniques. There are a few major types of transaction processing systems, including order processing, accounting, and purchasing. Order processing systems are critical to many organizations. When a customer order is received, this puts into motion a series of actions within the company. Transaction processing may be accomplished in one of two modes: online mode, batch mode. Online transaction processing, or OLTP. Characteristics of online transaction processing are: each transaction is completely processed immediately upon entry. OLAP is the most common mode used today, more costly than batch processing. The database is always up to date. Batch mode. Characteristics of batch transaction processing are: relies on accumulating transaction data over a period of time and then processing the entire batch at once. Batch processing is usually cyclic. Daily, weekly, or monthly run cycle is established depending on the nature of the transactions. Cheaper than online processing. Easier to control than online processing. Office automation concept. Office automation is the application of information technology to the typical clerical and secretarial tasks such as communication, correspondence, documenting, and filing. Office automation is the term defined as an integration of basic as well as advanced everyday office tasks accomplished via electronic media. The basic functioning involves computer software-assisted, fast and secure email communication, creating effective presentations, maintaining databases, ensuring smooth merging of technologies like integrating fax machines, printers, networking different workstations, etc. We will now discuss managing information system. Management information systems, or MIS, are methods of using technology to help organizations better manage people and make decisions. Managers use management information systems to gather and analyze information about various aspects of the organization, such as personnel, sales, inventory, production, or other applicable factors. Information system security control. With the opening of information systems to the global internet, and with their thorough infusion into the operation and management of business and government organizations, and into the infrastructure of daily life across the world, security issues have moved to the forefront of concerns about global well-being. Information system security is responsible for the integrity and safety of system resources and activities. Most organizations in developed countries are dependent on the secure operation of their information systems. Various threats and control to information security. Information security is a comprehensive field that includes risk and threat assessment, mitigation and control, and data backup and recovery. Information security importance. Threats from the internet and vulnerabilities within the operating systems can lead to computer breakdown and make information inaccessible. Network risks and threat assessment risks and threats which potentially pose risks of attack and intrusion to the IT systems and assets need to be identified. A risk or threat table starting with a list of known risks or threats grouped by network, host, and application can be utilized. The most common network threats are web server vulnerability to DOS attacks, unauthorized access to the network, destructive break-ins and attacks, information disclosure, Smurf attack, buffer overflow intrusion in the DNS servers, cyber law. The laws of cyberspace regulate our online activity. As technology becomes more integrated into our daily lives, so too does the discussion over how the legal system can meet our growing expectations of the Internet. Now let's talk about the Object-Oriented Technology, or OOT. The object-oriented technology is always almost similar to all programming languages. Some of the top famous programming languages that use object-oriented technology are Java, C++, C#, .NET, VB.NET, etc. Some of the special features of object-oriented programming are data abstraction, data encapsulation, modularity, inheritance, polymorphism. Data abstraction. Data abstraction means representing essential features without including the background details or explanations. Encapsulation. Encapsulation is one of the fundamental concepts of OOP. Encapsulation is the wrapping up of data and functions into a single unit called class. Modularity. Modularity is the property of a system that has been decomposed into a set of cohesive and loosely coupled modules. Inheritance. Inheritance is the capability of one class things to acquire capabilities or properties from another class. Polymorphism. Polymorphism is the ability for a message or data to be processed in more than one form. Polymorphism is a property by which the same message can be sent to objects of several different classes. What is object orientation? In the past, information systems used to be defined primarily by their functionality. Data and functions were kept separate and linked together by means of input and output relations. Object-oriented analysis, or OOA. Object-oriented analysis is the use of modeling to define and analyze the requirements necessary for the success of a system. Object-oriented analysis is a process that groups items that interact with one another, typically by class, data, or behavior, to create a model that accurately represents the intended purpose of the system as a whole. Object-oriented analysis does not factor implementation limitations into the model. System development through OOT. Object-oriented development offers a different model from the traditional software development approach, which is based on functions and procedures. In an object-oriented environment,
let us begin with the problems faced with procedural languages. What are procedural languages? Languages like Fortran, COBOL, C, etc. are known as procedural languages. The main problem with these languages is that data does not have an owner. This leads to a problem of difficulty in maintaining the data integrity. Why is it so? The main building blocks of a procedural language are functions. Whether it's a Fortran program or a C program, functions are the building blocks of the program. Now, many functions can modify a given block of data. So, when the data gets corrupted or something goes wrong with the data, it becomes very difficult to pinpoint which function has misbehaved to create the bug. Here's a picture. We have here function 1 function 3 and function 2 all are using a shared data. The other problem with procedural languages is the very common bug of uninitialized variables. One of my favorite programs which I ask my students is this program: declare an int k and print the value. It usually prints some unknown garbage value, and this is a problem of uninitialized variables. Another big problem with procedural languages is the resource deallocation problems. What are resources? Resources can be anything starting from memory to files to open database connections and network connections. What happens in this code here? We have declared here int star kp, and we have allocated a block of 1000 bytes to this pointer kp. Again, we have allocated another 1000 bytes to this pointer kb, and yet again we have allocated 1000 bytes to the pointer kb. Now at the end of this code, 2000 bytes of memory becomes unavailable to the rest of the program, causing what is known as a memory leak. Memory allocated but unusable because we have lost the pointer to that memory.
Software is a collection of discrete objects that encapsulate their data as well as the functionality to model real-world objects. An object orientation yields important benefits to the practice of software construction. Each object has attributes or data and methods or functions. Objects are grouped into classes. In object-oriented terms, we discover and describe the classes involved in the problem domain. Everything is an object, and each object is responsible for itself. Now let's understand the Enterprise Management System. Enterprise Management System, or EMS, is the overall combination of computer hardware and software that a business uses to organize and run its operations. For example, an integrated enterprise system will generally handle more than one operation for a company to facilitate its business and management reporting needs. The ERP system. Enterprise Resource Planning, or ERP, is business process management software that allows an organization to use a system of integrated applications to manage the business and automate many back-office functions related to technology, services, and human resources. ERP software integrates all facets of an operation, including product planning, development, manufacturing, sales, and marketing. Benefits of ERP. The key benefits of ERP are tighter controls for financial compliance declaration as well as other forms of compliance reporting. The single data source for product and services information, such as information related to suppliers, vendors, customer orders, and the products themselves. Drive rapid product development and launch cycles, which increases a company's overall market share. Increased access to valuable corporate data delivers a clear global view of the business that drives continuous improvement strategies and establishes common performance metrics and measures to gauge the health of the business. Effectively managing projects holistically fosters decision-making at critical levels in the development and/or manufacturing process. ERP implementation. Implementing an ERP software system not only involves a great deal of expenditure, efforts, and time, it also involves change in some of the complex business processes. Such changes are often disliked by the employees and are a big risk. In order to ensure success, everyone in the company, from the leadership to back office workers, should cooperate. Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learned in this lecture. Information technology management is the process whereby all resources related to information technology are managed according to an organization's priorities and needs. The IT infrastructure refers to the composite hardware, software, network resources, and services required for the existence, operation, and management of an enterprise IT environment. The IT asset management is the management of all information technology resources for a business or organization. A public network is a type of network wherein anyone, namely the general public, has access and through it can connect to other networks or the internet. A transaction process system, or TPS, is an information processing system for business transactions involving the collection, modification, and retrieval of all transaction data.